So this is my review to the Chinese Grand Prix, where we saw, once again, just like Australia, a Mercedes 1-2, but this time, it was the other way around. Kimi Antonelli dominating the Chinese Grand Prix, converting his pole position into a dominant Grand Prix victory. In the end, it was a dominant Grand Prix victory in the end, despite the start of the race, once again, a bit like Australia, where for the first few laps it was Mercedes versus Ferrari. The two Ferrari drivers were like a rocket ship once again, off the line. Lewis Hamilton was this time leading the race down into turn 1 against Kimi Antonelli, but then after that we saw Mercedes just run away with it in the end, because I think that helped with Ferrari obviously fighting each other as well, and that's why Ferrari fell further behind the two Mercedes drivers. And obviously the two Ferrari drivers were fighting each other, and then George Russell obviously was taking his time, being patient, and overtook both of them. Hamilton and Leclerc had another fighting battle like in the sprint race, and but this time they enjoyed it, didn't they? This time they enjoyed it. They didn't enjoy it in the sprint race, but let's see what happens when they do collide. Let's see if it's cinema masterpiece. Let's see if it's a cinema masterpiece then. I can tell you it won't be if they both collide with each other. And but yeah, sensational drive from Kimi Antonelli, who's so young as well, very young, and has no experience of winning a race in Formula 1. It's his first Grand Prix victory, and people are going to have that argument, well, yeah, he's in the quickest car, what do you expect? But even some drivers in the quickest car don't tend to win races. So, and Kimi Antonelli, especially at the start of the race as well, when he had that battle with Hamilton, you're battling a 7-time world champion as well, for the race lead. So absolutely incredible stuff from Kimi Antonelli. Really was incredible stuff from Kimi Antonelli, and sensational drive in qualifying and in the race for Kimi Antonelli as he dominates the Grand Prix, and not just against 7-time world champion, but against the favourite to win the world title, George Russell. Even though people say then George Russell had his problems, I just don't think George Russell ever suited the Chinese circuit for me. I said in my preview, I said I expected Kimi Antonelli to win the race this weekend, because with the amount of short corners, it's more suited to Kimi Antonelli. And another dominant Mercedes 1-2, and it's going to be like this for most of the season. And obviously Ferrari 3rd and 4th, not a bad weekend for Ferrari. It's where they expect to be in terms of the race pace. Good to see Lewis Hamilton on the podium then. As much as I don't like Lewis Hamilton in terms of his speaking about politics, when he needs to keep his mouth shut about that, if I'm being honest with you. But apart from that, good to see Hamilton happy then. He looks happy, doesn't he? He looks confident in the car. I do think the new radiations suit Hamilton more than Charles Leclerc. And especially when Hamilton goes into them short corners where you need to yip off the throttle, Hamilton's so good. He's very good at that. That's why he's been a 7-time world champion as well. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because when we got young Oi Berman there, who finished in 5th, another sensational driver of the day candidate in Oi Berman, finishing in 5th place. What a superb drive! What a start to the season he's had as well. All the noises, he is expected to join Ferrari at the end of the season. Expected to join Ferrari for next season. Who's he going to replace, people? Let me know down below in the comments. Is it going to be Charles Leclerc, or is it going to be Lewis Hamilton? Start of the season, we all would have said Lewis Hamilton, but now Lewis Hamilton is happy, he's confident in that Ferrari car. Charles Leclerc, you said he's the more unhappier at Ferrari, so that's for everyone to speculate on the driver market rumours. Per Dadsey, Sean White's underrated once again. Solid try from him to finish in 6th. He had a bit of an incident with Max Verstappen when he accused Verstappen not under braking, done that non-bendy turn 1. But nothing wrong with that for me. Max Verstappen went for a dap and got the move done, and we will talk about Max Verstappen in a minute as he did DNF from the race. Liam Lawson, again, not a shock with Liam Lawson. He does suit a circuit with the short amount of corners. Liam Lawson suits his driving style, so very good race from him to finish in 7th. Isaac Hadjar, who would have thought that on the bingo card to be the only Red Bull driver to store the points. Isaac Hadjar, I expected him to score his first points of the season. And finishing 8th, it was solid enough. With the car he started as well, it was solid enough for Isaac Hadjar. And then I thought he was very good as well. Very good. I thought he was very good. Was it in sprint qualifying as well, where he was very good. And Carlos Sainz, probably an unlikely point scorer, especially with the way Williams has started this season. Carlos Sainz getting the points, so that's a successful weekend for Williams, really. And finally, Toro Pinto stolen his first points of the season, which put my prediction in the mud and in the bin on Toro Pinto not stolen a point this season. Because I thought last season, it was just another Nick de Vries, really, where he does well on a temporary basis, but not on a permanent basis. But massively improved this season, Toro Pinto, hasn't he? Massively improved, and that's in the points. So Nico Hulkenberg and Yemkard were both unlucky not to score points in this race. Bottas finishing 13th, that's pretty good, isn't it? Pretty good for Cadillac. Of course we had DNF, so it did help Cadillac, didn't it? But not their fault. Perez finishing 15th. Esteban Ocon did finish in 14th. And then he was another unlucky one, not getting the points. But of course he had that incident, was it with Toro Pinto, into turn 1, where Toro Pinto obviously came out after his pit stop. And for me, it was Ocon's fault. It was Esteban Ocon's fault. He went for a dap that just wasn't there, and it took him and Toro Pinto out. But obviously both of them could still continue. And Toro Pinto could have finished higher, actually. Could have finished higher if it wasn't for that situation. So Max Verstappen DNF'd from the race due to pretty much the car just went off, didn't it? The engine just went off, and when he turned, and frustrating, isn't it? Frustrating for Max Verstappen. Is that going to drive him away from Formula 1? We all wonder. Because I just can't see Mercedes getting rid of Russell or Antonelli, to be honest with you, especially if they're going to win both titles this year. We don't know what Aston Martin going to do. We don't know what car they're going to have. I think that's the only option for Verstappen, is Aston Martin. I do think they will have a quick car by the end of the year under Adrian Newey. I think that could be the saving grace for Verstappen. But again, you're just taking the risks on that as well. We could see Max Verstappen end up driving wide cars for probably one season. But Alonso and Stroll obviously DNF'd, expected, because they were on the back foot in Tetson, so it was all about getting more mileage in that cards. Both McLarens both had issues before the race and couldn't start the race, so not a great start for them. And Bortoletto and Albon also didn't start the race either, which means that they are your driver standings. Russell has a 4-point lead over Antonelli, 17-point lead over Charles Leclerc. Obviously, then you got Berman in 5th, Norris, Dadsey, Verstappen, Lawson, Yimgard, Hadjar, Piastri, Sainz, Bortoletto, Toro Pinto, who have all stored points so far. The rest haven't stored points. And Mercedes have already a comfortable lead at the top of the Constructors' Championship with Haas in 4th. Who would have thought that? Haas in 4th. So, Kimi Antonelli dominates Chinese Grand Prix, and another dominant Mercedes 1-2. 3 weeks before down below, and I will be back in 2 weeks' time for the Japanese Grand Prix preview.